Hey everyone, I don't have to say that it's been a minute. We already know that those couple weeks. Anyway, it's been an interesting year. Plus, I really don't know how long it's been since the last video, but wanted to come back and just start to get back in the groove, simply with just the consistency of documentation, of being here and being able to share, and all of that I think was my intention and goal originally. And I'm on a busy street, which I kind of like for people watching. Not so isolating to be on some back road street kind of thing. Anyway, I really just wanted to come and say or share that sometimes it's best to just sit and be quiet and listen and observe in your own life too, as a practice. And to further explain what I mean by that is, sometimes we really just have to start doing those things that we know we need to do, instead of discussing the results with others, talking about what we're about to do. We really just need to start doing them. And instead of being rushed or rushing ourselves to see results, we really just need to do it and just be quiet and let the proof start to build, and let the consistency and the discipline start to build. There's really not a whole lot that needs to be said, and often the things that we know we're supposed to do, the only thing that it really requires is consistency and a level of discipline. Like it's usually, especially if we're talking about things related to the body, I feel like that is a great physical example of what, if you show up, do what you're supposed to do, over time, you don't really need to say too much about it. It'll just start being. And I think that's the overall point, is there's a lot of stuff that if we just do, it'll be. And we just need to be quiet and watch the process happen. Observe the different thoughts and emotions that come up when we are feeling like not going or feeling like not doing it. A lot of those thoughts and emotions are really just to be observed. They're not to be acted on. They're not to be taken as any crazy, at any crazy level of importance. They're really just to be observed. I feel like there's a certain point in life where you are able to put yourself in that observer role, and it detaches you from a lot of negative thoughts, anxious thoughts. What if this happens? What if that happens? You almost sit back and watch these things kind of roll by. And even if you say it is yourself, it's a certain part of yourself, a part that doesn't need to be driving at this moment. There's a lot going on. There's several, if this is if this car is us, it could be somebody, one of you's talking from the back seat, your inner child who had an issue with something else. But if you can put yourself, the self that knows exactly what it needs to do, in the driver's seat, all this is noise. We can say, okay, quiet down. You don't got to be silent in the back, but I'm driving. This is the destination that we're going to. And you telling me that, there could be potential danger ahead. We need to turn back. If it's not based on any actual facts, then you're just talking. And these are the conversations that we have to have with ourselves, or not. Like, you can also just allow them to chatter and keep driving. That's been one of the most beautiful, and I mean at this very moment, that has been so peaceful to explore. putting my head down, doing the work, being quiet. I'm not saying too much about too many things. I'm literally, as cliche as it is, enjoying the process. Watching how I'm manipulating different parts of my life, different parts of myself. Again, looking at the thoughts that come across me, like, where did that come from? Or what is the root of this particular thought or this particular feeling? And I may not catch it all the time. There has definitely been times where those feelings have affected me more than I would like them to. But even in that, even when the feeling is intense, my thought is more so, where is this coming from? Why can I not process this in a certain way? Or where is this residual? This seems deeper than just this. Where is this extra coming in? Asking questions. My inner world, again, at this moment, and that's why I'm making a video, because I have a certain level of clarity right now. So at this very moment, things are clearer than they usually would be. And in that clarity, I've just found peace. And the peace is, I can really, there's so much that we can't change, but there's so much that we can. And those things that we can will make such a grand impact on our lives. The most important piece is our mental health, our physical, spiritual health. And it's just the consistency of it. The shutting up. Stop telling everybody, stop thinking, buying something, okay, buying a piece of workout equipment is not working out. Stop getting excited about steps 0A through Z. It's not step 1 yet. Focus on step 1. Get fascinated with step 2. Realize your progress at step 3. And just observe how you're changing. And when you don't see the change that you want, understand logically that these changes have to come if I make these decisions consistently. And once again, stop thinking that it has to be these massive changes over, every other month. That's not where the transformation is. It's in the everyday. Notice how people be saying the same stuff. That's because it's true. I had a book I was writing. 2020, I started this. And there was a point where I was feeling blocked. And I said I would just write 30, even just a half page a day, a paragraph a day. And I didn't do it. But the thought was there. Do you know how many pages I would have by now? It's TBD. And I think I'm more equipped to be able to do and finish certain things just because this has, first you get a concept as okay, this seems right. But once it sinks in as a truth and becomes a part of how you live your life, you become dangerous. I understood it as truth then, but I did not embody that truth yet. Think about all the things that you wanted to do, that if you would have just did that degree, that if you would have taken a class a year, you probably would have been fine by now. A class a quarter, you probably would have been graduated by now. We think that we have to go in and be ready to dive in these big grandiose ways, and that's really never what it's about. That's never what it's about. If you only brush your teeth 3 times a year, they would still fall out. If you brush your teeth for an hour 3 times a year, they would still probably be falling out. It's the small daily actions the consistency, the discipline. And if those words hold a certain weight, because I understand that we're in hustle culture and a lot of people are just put off by the words. People that, and I understand, I didn't understand before because that appeals to me. I'm that type of person. Like, yeah, the competition of this, to that. Not as much as I used to be, is leveled out because I only want to be focused on the things that I'm focused on. I don't need to win in anything that I don't care about. It doesn't bother me. And I lost my train of thought. I don't know. It may or may not come back, but small. It's so simple. Simple, not easy. Simple, not easy. But it also can be. Right. That's what I was saying. Take the pressure off those words. If you don't like consistency, call it something else. If you like gold stars instead, give yourself a gold star every time you do it the whole week. You want to work out 3 times a week, give yourself a gold star at the end of the week. See if you can get 10, 20, 30 gold stars in a row for the times where you did not miss. Say you're going to go until you get 30 gold stars. Make it work for you. Find where your resistance lies and analyze that, and then switch it up a little bit. And I say that because my sister is a person who I feel those certain words that, again, have become so loaded based on how society has been using them, that they're unappealing to her. Change the word. Use another word. Create your own meaning, and then attach that meaning to what you're trying to do. I don't care if you call discipline whatever. If it means you could call it ice cream. If that means, if ice cream in your world means I'm gonna show up 10 minutes a day and do crunches, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Find what works for you. Literally. All this, man, I really feel like I have it. I really feel like I have it for me, for my life. And I'm starting to see, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. To start to see it, to start to see things come out, and I even feel less pressured about it. It's less of an if and more of a when, because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And every time that I've done that, it has worked out. So I can release and relax and just do the daily, do the little bite-sized chunks, knowing that I'm working my way there, working my way to where I'm going to go, because this is the path. I don't care if I said I'm going to Florida and it told me by foot it'll be 2 months. As long as I know the path, regardless of how many steps I'm taking, if I get up, take 200 steps a day, you can best believe you're eventually going to get there. That's how it works. Find the path for what you want to do. Boom, that's your GPS. You've said what your destination is, and take it at a nice steady pace. You don't want to arrive ragged. I feel like I've said that in the past before. You don't want to arrive just so ragged to your destination that you can't enjoy it, in my opinion. And I feel sometimes that the people who often go too hard, I don't know if they've had the opportunity to enjoy the journey. And I want to squeeze every little bit of joy I can out of this experience of life. Just because why not? They make it seem like you can either, you can't have both. You can't be super, super motivated and getting to these goals and having these large goals, but you have to sacrifice your happiness, and that it was all worth it in the end, but you lost the first 10 years of, your 20s were gone. if I can conceive being able to do both, being able to, sometimes I am going to buckle down. There are things that I may not particularly want to do, but I understand, again, this is the path, these are the steps, this is what I need to do, and I do them, fine. But do I believe that every single step has to be grueling, that every day I need to almost pass out in the bed? No, I don't. If I can conceive both being possible, really working my way steadily towards a goal, boom, 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 but also enjoying it, if I can conceive that, I feel like I can do that. And there's nothing that has happened in my life before that I felt like that about, that I haven't been able to achieve. That's what I've been focusing on. And it's a lonely journey, but also not. And it's both. It's both. I feel when we are thinking about electric cars, sounds so creepy. But when we are feeling lonely, so cliche, but it's true. We need to double down on the gratitude. Like, there is no such thing. As creepy as it is, we even have other beings inside our body. We're some entities, microorganisms, entire universe, our body, that's living in here, co-living with us right now. So that's what it has been, man. Counting everything that is and has shown up and has gone right, double, triple, quadruple. Counting everything that didn't as a step to what is. Redirection, which really, it be protection. And I don't need to see it to know it. You can see leading up, especially the people that I've seen exit in some way, and I could foresee that it was about to be a crapshoot, a poop show. I don't need to read the end of this chapter. I'm gonna end it here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to come and say. Allow yourself to understand what you need to do, because often that's the easiest part. That's the part we get most. The part that we struggle with is the doing. And I think that we struggle with the doing because we're always trying to look at the full doing. Take it a day at a time. Take it an hour at a time if that's too much. Take it a minute at a time if that's too much. Do it. As everyone has said on many videos on the interwebs, the time will pass anyway. If it's something that you want, spend that time on that and then enjoy it. Watch how you start changing. Watch how you start picking up how hard things become easier. Become fascinated with the process of improving, the process of the brain. The mind is so amazing, man. We're so amazing. Our bodies are so amazing. And who's to say we're not AI? Who's to say we're not? We're definitely electrical beings. I think we are that's a whole nother topic, I don't want to get too deep. No, but really, the brain, the body is so amazing. We barely even give it enough credit based on what we choose to do and inhibit it, and then we blame it for not performing. No, do what you're supposed to do. The brain can do that. Why are you willing to train it? Tap in. It's so amazing. Just witness it. Be quiet. Do what you're supposed to do, and use that silence as observation time to watch what you're doing. Often we need proof. Once we start seeing proof, it's more of a motivator to keep going. So when you're in that silence, when you're brain tells you, oh, I have this fitness goal, I need to do this. You know where you need to be. You know what you need to be doing. Just make that change. You don't gotta be quiet about it. It doesn't need to become a community topic amongst friends. Make it just for you. Make it just for you. And then watch. And give yourself time. Stop being so impatient. We are so impatient as humans. Give yourself time. Stick to the plan a little bit in a small interval. Every day, every other day. And just stick to it. Prove to yourself that you can be consistent. And if 30 minutes is too much, do 15. I'm not going to the gym for 3 hours every other day. I go to the gym for an hour. 30 minutes if I was by myself. I don't that's not sustainable to me. I'm not gonna be I don't want to be there that long. Go in, do what you need to do, and leave. Same thing with anything else. You want to learn Spanish? 30 minutes a day. Every other day. Get a tutor allow that in the compounding of the time spent to really start, and then observe how your brain will start changing again. How hard stuff that just seemed like I could never get this will never change, starts changing. And then use that as proof. Use that as life proof for anything else you want to tackle. All you need is a couple things like that to show you proof, and your whole concept of reality changes. Once you have that, and you're like, oh wait, I did this thing by doing, and I saw the impossible become possible. What else can I apply that to? Boom. You've been unplugged. Congratulations. It's a little crazy out here, but we can do some things that before you thought was just utterly impossible. And it's such a beautiful place to be. It's such an empowering place to be. And why not? What's the alternative? All the alternatives for me seem boring, and I've never been the type to just accept anything less than what I wanted, and I just believed that I could, because why not? What I didn't have was the stick-to-itness. That was the major piece. The consistency. I have the, above average skill, the lack of fear, this, but then you have to stick with it. You have to see something through. You have to allow momentum to build. That's when you're onto something. We're talking about the rule, not the exception. Not the people that did it for 2 days and then they got these crazy results. They're the exception. If you're always looking to be the exception, the odds are not going to be in your favor. We're talking probability here. Most of us need to give it time and consistency. And be patient and quiet and just watch it play out. Like, really observe yourself, your life. Take away some of that observation time from other things that are, distractions. I had to delete TikTok. I was struggling. It was sucking up a large portion of my time. Now everything's taking a little less time. I still overdo it a little bit, because in my head I'm saying that could be book time, that could be whatever type of time. You could be doing something else, moving forward towards something that you actually want. Nobody really cares about social media if you're doing just exponentially more consuming than producing. It's just not good. All right, 24 minutes, that's quite enough. I probably said the same thing over and over in different ways. So hopefully it clicked for different people at different moments throughout the video. And I'm looking forward to challenging myself to be consistent in this way. Weekly, if I can do it with just my phone in this environment like this, it'll be a bit easier, because when I think about cameras and lighting and everything else, I start to get a little bit. So that means I need to chunk it down. Take away some of the mental barriers that come with, I gotta have the right camera, I gotta have this, how do I work that, what setting do We're working with supercomputers in our hands every day. Take do less. Do less so you can do more. If the 2 hours thinking you have to go in the gym and do 2-3 hours a day, go do 20. Do 20 so you can start, because this is holding you back. So that was holding me back. So boom, this is even front camera so I can see myself. The grid is up. This might be what we're working with until I decide to do something else. But guess what? It got done. That's what's important. The back camera is slightly awkward. I'm not used to it yet. And you know, the first 20 videos are crap anyway. Do you know the top 1% of people with podcasts and stuff like that, they only get past 20 episodes? So once you do more than 21, you're already in the top 1%. To be a 1%er, easy. Oh, sorry. Simple, not easy. Simple, not easy. And a lot of what I said is the sauce to even being in the top 1% of your own life. Forget about everybody else. Just the top 1% of what you thought was possible for your life. For me, it is literally what I just said. Get quiet, get observant, get curious, be consistent, and be disciplined. A little bit at a time. We don't need these large chunks of anything. Break it up and attack it, and lose sight of, oh my God, I gotta go back. Just show up. You don't gotta think about breathing, make it be like that. You don't think about your heart beating, make it be like that. This is just something that I do. It's not, it's take away those feelings about it, the anxiety towards it, take all that away. Just do it. You don't gotta think about it. Just show up. Drive yourself there. Open the computer. Start moving your fingers. Just do it. It's just something that you do. Tell yourself it's just something that you do. Let the rest work itself out. Love y'all.